There it is. I was like, where the hell is it? What is going on, everyone? DSP here, and welcome to the Week in Preview. It is Sunday night, October 9th, 2016, as I film this, and let me tell you, I'm filming this super late. Like, usually I would film this at least an hour earlier than I'm filming it today. But I have been slammed. You can see it. Look, my hair's all screwed up, and I haven't even shaved in days. I've been slammed with games. Let's put it that way. I knew this was going to happen. We knew that this was going to be the beginning of the hardcore gaming season, and that a ton of stuff was going to come out at once. And I'm doing my damnedest already, only the first week into it, to stay caught up with everything, right? To stay in line with everything, to not fall behind. So, this past week, what did I do? I finished up my playthroughs of Dead Rising, the New Game Plus run that I did through it, which was much quicker than the first run, by the way, and much different. I fought all the psychopaths in the game and did all that stuff. I finished up my run in Forza Horizon 3, finally finished the campaign of that game. And then on Friday, I started my gameplay of Mafia 3. And for 3 straight days, I have played the living hell out of this game. And what I actually want to do very shortly in this video is give you my opinions up to now. Because as of right now, I played the game for around 5 to 6 hours on Friday, 5 to 6 hours on Saturday, and yes, today, my gameplay stream on Sunday, which is usually only 3 hours long, was 6. So at this point, I am somewhere in the realm of 15 to 18 hours, depending on breaks and stuff, into the game. Here's what I think about Mafia 3 so far. The gameplay is a combination of Mafia 2, Grand Theft Auto style like Grand Theft Auto 5, and a kind of sneaking stealth game. Recent comparisons would be games such as, I would say, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Last of Us might be a good comparison, how you had to do stealth kills and stuff in that game. Some people have even made the comparison to Assassin's Creed. I don't see that. I think that people are saying that because in Assassin's Creed you don't really have projectiles. You're doing hand-to-hand executions and stuff, okay? The game is interesting in that regard. What they try to do is make a hybrid where stealth works very well, but if you screw up, now it's run and gun, and you have to basically try to salvage a bad situation. Or on the flip side, there may be people that just play this game purely run and gun and do good at it, because maybe you go during a path where you can get upgrades and stuff that make your weapons and your run and gun abilities better than, say, focusing on stealth, okay? And I could see that. But what I can tell you is this. I like the story. I like the actual atmosphere. The music is superb, okay? The amount of characters and the elaborations on the stories, even for side characters, you get to find out their backgrounds and stuff, is top-notch. But the big glaring thing that happened to me today, now my third major day playing Mafia 3, the game fell into the same formula as every single sandbox game besides, say, the AAA ones like Grand Theft Auto. It fell into repetition, grinding, doing the same kind of gameplay over and over and over and over, and basically just padding the length of the game. The bottom line is with Mafia 3, now, like I said, I'm around 15 to 18 hours into it right now. If the game didn't have grinding, repetitive gameplay and everything was unique, the 15 to 18 hours that I would have played right now probably would have been, no lie, about 10 hours. That's how much. It's like 50% padding, like extending the length of the game, because you're doing either, oh, you have to kill this guy who's surrounded by enemies. You have to blow up these assets that'll take out a racket. You have to steal a car or steal a boat or steal something and drive across the map. And sadly, those 3 things that I just described to you are the vast majority of the gameplay of Mafia 3. There are some unique missions that I've liked. There was a bank heist. There was a tower invasion that was pretty unique. You had to get away after the end of it. There were a few missions here or there that were like, wow, these are great. These feel original and different. But for the most part, the vast majority of the game is turning into a repetitive grind, and that's not a good thing. Why in this modern era can't we get a sandbox game, right? A Grand Theft Auto-esque game that has original stuff, that it's not you do the same thing over and over for half of the length. So again, Mafia 3, the reason that here I am 3 days, almost 18 hours into it, and I'm not done with it yet, is because it keeps throwing padding at me. And the padding is actually absolutely required to do in order to advance the story. You can't unlock the next leg of the story and the new cutscenes and the new things that are going to happen in the story until you do the grinding to qualify to get to it. So, my original plan for Mafia 3 was that I was going to try to finish it by tomorrow. That's still the plan, but I don't know how viable that kind of goal is. All right, now let me explain. Tomorrow, I'm doing 2 gameplay streams again. I have to. There's no way with one more gameplay stream, 3.5 hours, that I'm going to finish this game. It's just not going to happen. So it looks to me like tomorrow's going to be another marathon day of Mafia 3, all right? From what I can tell, it looks like there's 2 to 3 district takeover missions left, all right? And after that, as long as the game doesn't throw me for a crazy loop, it's probably the conclusion of the game. Now, what I've noticed, the district takeovers take about an hour and a half each to do. So today on stream, I actually took over 2 entire districts, and I finished half of another district, and then I was about to start up a new district, but I also did some side content. So that's what took 6 hours today. It was like 4 to 4.5 hours of story advancement and district takeovers, and like an hour and a half of side content, okay? So tomorrow, what I'm going to try to do is get as far as I can on this first stream and try to maybe wrap it up on second stream and finish the game, all right? Now, here's the thing. I know that most of you who follow my content, who are watching the playthroughs, are not caught up. There's no way you could be. I just played 15 to 18 hours of gameplay in 3 days. That's nuts. How is anyone going to have enough free time to catch up on it? I know very few people, viewers of mine, have caught up on it. That's okay, all right? The good thing is, I am not rushing through the game. Right? I'm learning the game mechanics. I am trying to enjoy it as much as I can, even though some of the grinding is starting to get on my fucking nerves. And I'm thinking maybe I can finish it on Monday. We'll see. Between the 2 gameplay streams on Monday, we'll see. Now, here's the thing. And this is why it's kind of a thing that's... It's a good thing, but a bad thing. It's like a double-edged sword. There's a ridiculous amount of new releases this week. We've got Gears of War 4 and WWE 2K17 both launching on Tuesday, okay? In addition to that, we've got the PlayStation VR launching technically on Thursday, but I'm not sure when I'm going to receive it. I already have it pre-ordered with Best Buy, and it says you're supposed to get it on launch day, but there's no guarantee with shipping, companies and all that of a time that it's going to be here. So I could get it early in the morning, and great, I could play PSVR all day, or I could get it late at night, and now it's too late, and I'll have to wait till Friday, okay? So, the good news is there's tons of new stuff coming this week. If Mafia 3 wasn't your cup of tea and you've been watching, maybe checked out a little bit of it and you're like, man, I wish Phil would do something different because I'm kind of bored of this and this is all Phil's been doing for 3 days now. Starting on Tuesday, you're going to get a wide variety. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm all about covering Gears of War 4 and WWE. Now, FYI, just so you guys know, WWE this year has no showcase or story mode. Every year that I've played it, they've had this. It's gone. They took it out this year. What they're claiming is that they've focused on the My Career mode. That if you play My Career mode, you create your own wrestler or whatever at the beginning, that it's supposed to be way more robust than ever before. It's a much better experience. I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical of these promises because in previous years I hear, oh, they improved this, they improved that, and then I play it. I'm like, no, they really didn't. It's a new system, but doesn't mean it's improved. It's not any better than the last one. So I'm hoping that this is true. I'm hoping that if I play it this week, that we start My Career mode, it's interesting, it's exciting, and people want to keep seeing it. Because the bottom line is what happened the past 2 years, both in 2015 and 2014. When I played My Career mode, it was interesting for a few sessions, and after 2 or 3 sessions, it became, again, repetitive grinding. A bunch of jobber matches for no fucking reason that were incredibly boring, and the plot line wasn't going anywhere, and I wasn't getting title shots, and it was just a pain in the ass. And it sucks because outside of My Career, since there's no showcase mode, this year the only other thing that I'll do with the game is simulation matches. Now the other thing is people really don't like the simulation matches that much of the real wrestling. People seem to like the fantasy ones. So great, I'll do fantasy sims, but you can only do them so often because you're going to wait for created wrestlers to be made, and if it's a holiday or something, oh, now I can do a holiday-themed match. But there's only so much you can do, you know what I mean? So I'm honestly pretty skeptical about WWE this year because all of guys, My Career, which could flop quickly, and Sims that really I can't even do that often. So is it going to even be worth it this year? I don't know. But we're going to find out, all right? Gears of War, it's going to have a campaign. It's going to have multiple multiplayer modes. So Gears of War, after a few sessions, I finish the campaign, I play a multiplayer a few times, could have potential to be something great, or it might not be. You don't know. You never know with a game like that, especially because the franchise was supposed to end with Gears of War 3. Now, here we are years later, Gears of War 4. What? You know why? The quest for more money. You know what they say? They joke about Spaceballs. In the original Spaceballs movie, they make a joke about the sequel, and they're going to title it The Quest for More Money. Or, no, I'm sorry, The Search for More Money, because that's what happens. You make a sequel to everything just to make more money, even when you said that it was over. So here's the deal. I am not sure yet on Tuesday what I want to do. Do I want to do the career mode of WWE as my first stream, and then maybe second stream I try some multiplayer of Gears of War, and then Wednesday I do the campaign of Gears of War as my main stream, and then at night maybe I do some more multiplayer or some more of the career. I don't know. And the other thing is I can't promise you what I'm doing on Thursday because I have no idea when the PSVR is showing up. All right, so it's kind of uncertain. Tuesday and Wednesday will definitely be Gears of War and WWE, but I'm probably going to play it by ear, or I may even do a poll on Twitter at They Call Me DSP, where I try to get your opinions on what I should be doing on Tuesday in what order, okay? Now, whenever I get the PlayStation VR, whether it's late Thursday night, Friday, I'm going to be doing extensive coverage of this thing. What does that mean? Well, if you're not aware, you may be totally out of the loop because, you know, PSVR, especially if you don't care about VR, why would you care about PSVR, right? The way this thing's working is, it's launching with no game. It comes with nothing. Great, right? Buy a giant, expensive peripheral, comes with nothing to fucking play on. It also always makes sense, right? But there's a ridiculous amount of releases coinciding with it. I mean, I'm not kidding. 30 games are coming out for PSVR. Now, some of them aren't really games per se, and I think what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a lot of criticism around the fact that they're selling these like $20 to $40 experiences. One that comes to mind that I've already heard about, Batman, the Arkham Knight, or Arkham City VR, I'm not sure exactly what it's called. Everyone's like, oh, it's Batman in VR, right? Well, guess what it is? It's detective work. You're basically going around using the detective sense from the Batman games, his detective view, detective sight, whatever it's called, to do investigation into like cases. Oh, someone got hurt here. Oh, link it to this. Follow the pheromone trail over here and do that. And you're doing it in VR. All right, cool. But apparently there's no combat whatsoever. It's just that. And people are saying you can beat it in like an hour to 2 hours tops. So $20 to $40, I'm not sure what the price tag on that one is. $20 to $40 for 2 hours and no combat, just doing, and that's what I get the feeling a lot of the experiences on PlayStation VR are going to end up being. This really overpriced, almost tech demo of what virtual reality could be, but not a fully fleshed out game. Now, there are supposedly some fully fleshed out games for this thing. We're going to investigate all of this later this week together. What I'm going to probably do is around Wednesday night-ish, I'm going to do some research. I'm going to try to get a list of all the games, right? And I'm going to see if I can get people to say, oh, what games out of this list are you interested in? Maybe I'll even make a list and post it up on my Twitter and see what feedback I get from people. What would you like to see the most? Because there's a wide range. There's on-rails horror jump scare shooter from Until Dawn. Remember that game from last year? Yeah, it has a PSVR game. You've got a golf game it's called a 100-foot robot, and it's really weird. There's flight games. There's archery. There's everything you can think of, right? Everything under the sun. There's getting a game on PSVR, but are they games or are they experiences? And that's what we're going to have to find out firsthand. Now, the bottom line is, with 30 releases, there is no possible way I could cover everything for PlayStation VR. I mean, just price-wise, you're talking $20 to $40 a pop times 30. Sorry, I don't have $1,000 to drop on software for the PlayStation VR. I'm already spending an incredible amount of money to get the thing just pre-ordered, and all that. I'm spending an incredible amount of money on it in that regard. So, honestly, I'm going to have to pick and choose what I want to cover and what people are looking for me to cover with this thing, okay? Honestly, what'll probably happen is after a couple days, people will watch everyone's coverage of it on YouTube, and if there's something I haven't covered that's really good, they'll probably tell me, and then maybe I'll check it out. But the bottom line is, the way it's going to work is that I'm going to start covering PSVR either, Thursday or Friday, depending on when I get it. I'm going to balance that with the other games. So you're going to see PSVR coverage, maybe for a day or two. Then we'll swing back to maybe WWE or Gears of War. And then we'll go back to PSVR maybe another day to break things up. Maybe we'll have days next week where we balance it. Because the good news here is that there is not another high-profile new release after the release of the PSVR for over a week. It's actually going to be Friday, October 21st is the release of Battlefield 1. And that I'm really excited for, and that I'm definitely going to dedicate and give some major time to, all right? But I want to give PSVR coverage. I want to play Gears 4 and WWE, and sometime in this time frame of 2 weeks, I want to review Mafia 3 and Gears of War 4, and I want to do an edited style video after I've had enough immersion in PSVR to tell everyone about PSVR as an edited video on KO Gaming. So there's a lot of shit I have to do in a short period of time. I mean, we're talking within, not even 2 weeks' time, I have to cover some 3 full games, all the PSVR shit, and put out multiple reviews and edited videos. Is going to be out of control. So I'm going to ask you for patience, all right? If I'm late for a stream, if I'm sounding a little agitated or disheveled, if I lose, control and I say something stupid on Twitter, please be forgiving of me. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to have a meltdown or whatever, but I know these next couple of weeks are going to be incredibly stressful for me with trying to weigh and balance all this stuff and get it all covered for you in an efficient fashion, all right? And the funny thing is, some people might say, if Phil just didn't cover every major release, it would be much better, right? Because the problem is he covers every game, and then he gets caught up in too much stuff, and this is what happens. He gets overloaded, and that's why his stuff isn't as good as it used to be, which is ridiculous because I used to cover even more stuff back in the day. I actually cover much less now. Case in point, guess what? This week, guess what else is coming out this week? A game that I actually want to play. Duke Nukem 3D, the HD remake. They actually remade this game for modern audiences. It's a more modern game. It has these new features. Someone told me it has a rewind feature and all this stuff, and it sounds great to me, but there's no way I'm playing it this week. I mean, how could I? How could I? And it's something that I want to do, and I made the executive decision. I'm not doing it unless by some miracle I finish everything and everything's cleared up and I have time for it. That's going to be something that I put on the back burner maybe as a downtime playthrough in the future. In addition, it is rumored, heavily rumored, okay, that Overwatch is going to get a new character and a DLC expansion in the next week. I mean, we heard nothing of this up to now. Like, there was no hinting. Blizzard didn't say that they were going to release a new character or anything. If it is true, great, but I don't know if I could drop everything, on a dime that I'm covering to do Overwatch. I want to, again, just like Duke Nukem. I love Overwatch. I've been playing it all year. I've enjoyed the game. It's the game I've gone back to most this year. Surprisingly enough, I've played Overwatch more than I played Street Fighter V this year. So if that doesn't say something, I don't know what does, right? But how do I cover it when I have all this other stuff that I'm also covering that I'm interested in, and it's pertinent to cover that as a new release? You know what I mean? So it's going to be a point. There's going to be a breaking point when I have to lay down the law and say, no, okay, I've decided I'm covering this and this and this, and sorry if you wanted to see this. If I ever do cover it, it'll be in the future. Because the bottom line of it now, I just mentioned that I have basically 2 weeks to cover all this stuff before Battlefield 1 comes out, right? Battlefield 1 comes out Friday, October 21st. On Tuesday, we've got Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. That's the Tuesday after that. The end of that week is Titanfall 2, which I'm on the fence about covering right now because I am kind of intrigued if the campaign is going to be worth a shit. Okay. Oh, by the way, that week is also the Dark Souls 3 DLC. Oh, and guess what? On October 31st, I'm doing my Halloween marathon. Okay, I'm not actually dead. But you see what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be crazy. And I'm hoping that you're enjoying my coverage. I know that this week has been very hectic, and some people, they watched the first couple of streams or sessions of Mafia 3, and once they saw that the game turned into a grind, they're like, oh, man, why'd they do that? And they stopped watching. I get it. I do. It's funny because when the story comes back, it's great. And I'm like, yes, a story segment. This is awesome. And then I have to do another 2 hours of grinding. Fucking bullshit, And I hope that when I release my review, that could be reflected in the review, and that it will be more interesting to, if you only watch the first few sessions of gameplay. I mean, right now, like I said, 15 to 18 hours, who the hell could keep up with that playthrough, right? We'll see what happens tomorrow. But anyway, I want to say thank you to those who are watching everything. Thank you to those who are being patient. I know many people are eagerly awaiting my coverage of the new stuff this coming week. The hilarity of PSVR, because I am going to do picture-in-picture. You'll have a webcam going the whole time. See me with this stupid thing on my head like this. There. Oh, and I have a big update. Oh, my God, I almost forgot to tell everyone. Oh, my God, it's like one of the most important things. For PlayStation VR, one of the major things that people are a little upset about is because I told everyone, I publicly stated this, I'm not buying another set of PS Move controllers. If you don't know what those are, it's that stupid glowing fucking ball, the 2 glowing balls that you go like this and you do, it was the PS Move for PS3. And I bought them back then, and there was like 5 games that fucking utilized these stupid things. And after that, they just died. And they were peripherals that were never used for anything, and it was a complete waste of fucking money, and they cost a ridiculous amount of money. I mean, over $100 for a set. It was ridiculous. So I was adamant. I said, sorry, Sony fucked me once with these stupid PS Move controllers. There's no fucking way I'm buying them again. I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, because I got fooled twice in a row, right? A fan has contacted me and said they are willing to donate their set of PS Move controllers to me because I heard that I said I wasn't going to use it, and they were like, man, some games seem like they would be innately better by using those PS Move controllers, all right? So if it's true and if it arrives in time, I will have a set of PS Move controllers for the launch of the PSVR. I hope, fingers crossed, they get here on time and the fan wasn't bullshitting me. It wasn't just some asshole acting. I don't think it was. I think this fan is someone who I talked to a couple times over the years. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's true. If it's true, he's going to get a giant shout out when I get these things, because people want to see me use PS Move with the PSVR. So we'll see what happens. No promises, but it would be awesome if I had that, because some games supposedly are better with this, and because this has the light right on the front, and some games supposedly are better with the Move controllers. So we'll find out firsthand later this week. All right. So that's the weekend preview. The conclusion of Mafia 3, hopefully Monday. Gears of War 4 and WWE. PlayStation VR, when I get a chance, probably near the end of the week to early next week, reviews of games that I can review and or a kind of montage coverage of the PSVR, all for KO Gaming. So KO Gaming is going to get some high-profile coverage of reviews and stuff in the next couple of weeks, which is great, because it's been dead for a couple of weeks now. There's been nothing going on, and I need to get videos up there so people are interested again. Next week will be balanced coverage of Gears and WWE and the PSVR, heading into Battlefield 1 on the 21st of October, and then again, more new releases for the end of the month. Whew. Now, keep in mind, that's not all. Tomorrow, I'm releasing a new episode of DSP Tries It. I was supposed to release it on Friday, and I was so effing busy, Saturday. I was so busy with Mafia, I forgot about it. So tomorrow, I'll be releasing a new DSP Tries It, okay? There will be other, there's probably going to be other DSP Tries It and stuff this month. I'm going to try to keep up with everything else. I don't want to neglect stuff just because I'm so busy with new releases, all right? That is it for the weekend preview. Super long, I know, but super informative. Hopefully, I covered everything. Thank you for being patient. Everyone, please, Twitter for nightly polls and stuff on what I'm going to be playing for these nights. It is very important you follow me on Twitter so you can get in on that stuff. And, of course, Patreon. Right now, I haven't even mentioned it in any videos besides my pre-streams. The monthly goal for this month, October, the Indies Marathon. Remember, I did many Indies Marathon in the past. I'm going to do another one if we hit the funding goal this month. Please consider pledging. All right, all the details are right there on the website. That's it, everyone. Peace out. And without further ado, special thanks to the following patrons from September who made the upcoming Halloween Horror Marathon possible. They're currently nominating games for that marathon as we speak on the kingofhate.com forums. Thanks a lot, everyone. See ya for Mafia. See ya for Gears. See ya for WWE, for whatever it is you want to see PSVR this week. See ya for that. Stay safe. Stay warm. Stay frosty. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Let's get this rolling.